Welcome to the Halley Elise Show, featuring your host, empowerment psychic Halley Elise. She is an author, psychic, and media personality, and has been listed as one of the top 100 psychics in America. Empowerment psychic Halley Elise shares the spiritual, metaphysical, holistic, and magical powers of the universe. Follow Halley on her website at HalleyElise.com, and all her shows can be seen via live stream video. Now, here's your host, empowerment psychic Halley Elise.
Hello, and thank you for joining us. This evening I have with me as my guest my lovely friend Tia Crystal, and you'll find that she is a visionary artist, she is a healer, she is an intuitive, she has so many talents. We don't have long enough to tell you about all of them, but you'll have a great evening this evening. Before I introduce you to Tia, though, I'd love you to know that you can call in about midway through the show, and I'll be happy to give some psychic messages. And the phone number is 888-565-1470. Once again, that's 888-565-1470. So without further ado, hello, Miss Tia.
Hello, Miss Halley. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really glad that you could make it this evening.
Well, of course, when you gave me a call, of course I said I'm coming on the show. So thank you for having me here
Absolutely.
tonight.
I want to dive right in because a lot of people, when I say the words visionary artist, go, what is that? Or if I say, oracle, they're like, huh? So instead of explaining what all of that is, let's go to the magazine. You just had a fabulous feature in one of the Del Rey magazines. What was it, 2 pages long?
Yes.
And it's all Tia.
In fact, someone said it's a tribute to Tia and her artwork.
Exactly.
And it's an amazing accomplishment, actually, for someone who 10 years ago she didn't even know she could paint.
Right.
To 10 years later being featured in the magazine, being featured in New York as one of the top 10 artists in one of the major shows.
Yes, I was going to bring that up because that's an amazing accomplishment as well. I'm going to share with everyone very briefly that your story basically started by you going on a personal quest for some, if you will, turmoil in your life and needing to get away, and you found a paintbrush.
I did. And I feel that I'm 10 years later, so I'm most probably going to find another paintbrush, because I feel that we are forever growing. And so that time in my life at 40 was a huge, monumentous change. And I needed to find who I was so I could become the best mum for my children, which 10 years later, the way that they have turned out, I did a pretty good job taking that journey.
Well, I know your children, I'd say, better than pretty good. Amazing. I mean, truly, Tia's children are, all 3 of them, brilliant and talented and well-mannered and just beautiful inside and out.
Yes.
Truly.
And I think it comes as a testimony to you as a mother when your 19 and 20-year-old still call you and they miss you, or they send you a postcard, "You're the best mum, we couldn't have asked for anyone better." If I ever did anything from going at that time, would have been for that, because I didn't know who I was.
Right.
I wasn't being authentic. I didn't know that.
Well, let's share a little bit with the with the audience. That's the next show, We the People, isn't it? Give a little plug to Tracy. That's We the People. But the paintbrush is more than a euphemism. It is more than a metaphor. It was a literal awakening for you when you found that paintbrush. And you also, if I recall correctly, found a little bottle cap with the letter T in it.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
So share, if you will, a little about how you started to paint from that point on.
I came home and I had told my business partner in London the story, and she said to me, let me find out, let me sit with this for a little bit, why you found this paintbrush. A couple of months later, she rings me up and she says to me, I have a client who needs 9 paintings, and we've taken £20,000. I said, that's fantastic, who are we going to get to paint? And I knew, before she even said it, in that silence, I could hear her say, you. And when she did, I just said, you are nuts. I wouldn't even know where to begin, because we put the limitations in our path that we can't, I wasn't, all of that. I had the whole book on it, and she said, Tia, just trust me, you need to do this. And I did trust her, and I did do it. And if
amazing.
she's in my book, that I'm forever going to be grateful to her, because she was that messenger that day that said, trust and believe in who you are, you can make this happen. Even if you don't know how, you're going to do it.
Now, if you really give some thought to that, because, the program really is about helping people on a multitude of levels, and part of that is that awareness to listen to the divine, to be guided by the divine. And we have people show up in our lives that need to be there at the right time. Your partner, for instance, gave you that go-ahead to jump in and try something that you hadn't done, and believe in yourself, and know that you'd be a success. And with that, I want to include that your art is more than just beautiful. It is more than just something to put on a wall and admire. It is divinely inspired. And I've watched you paint where you go into an altered state. You're like in a Zen state, and you just start to create, and you don't even know that anyone else is around you.
No.
And what comes forth is not what you planned.
No,
but what is supposed to be.
I never have a plan of what I'm going to actually create. I just allow myself to be still, and that's what Italy taught me. Was I don't have to think. I just want to create, and that to me is an amazing meditation in itself. When we get into that space of no thought, and we allow ourselves to produce beauty, it can change our lives. It can take us from stress to no stress, from high blood pressure to low blood pressure, because we're in that moment. We're not thinking, we're not trying to rationalize, and we're not racing around with all these overwhelming thoughts. We're actually allowing ourselves to be in a flow.
Yes, absolutely. And I want to go back to what I said as far as using the term oracle, for instance, or visionary. Doing the art and not thinking about it is similar in terms of someone who just sits and inspiration comes to them. They just know that they have to move forward. There is something that they have to do. So there's that vision. As far as oracle, there are messages that come with the painting. I know one of our friends you did a painting for, I won't mention names, but I think you know who I mean, red-haired gal, and there were numbers that came to you, and you included it on the back of the painting. And she looked and she said, oh my God, this is my granddaughter's birthday, this is my child's birthday, this is my... And you didn't know any of that.
No.
That is just what came through. And even when I talk about that, it gives me chills. The idea being that you're listening to that intuitive guidance that says, here, share this information.
Actually, I'm going to jump in there and add a little bit more to that, because as our years of friendship and knowledge have transpired, now what's happening is, if someone is looking for a lover, somehow or other they come to me and the painting produces that, whatever that means. I've had someone else who was looking to fall pregnant, and at the same time she was going through some marital problems. We worked on that, and then I painted the energy, and now she's pregnant and she's about to have her baby. And the healing blanket, I mean, that was when the tribal leaders from around the world came to the gallery, and I heard this voice say, create a blanket, a healing blanket. I just did it, and the next thing I know, these people are underneath this blanket, and they're sobbing and releasing this emotional energy that's been built up inside of them. I had a client the other day. She fell down the stairs. I put her under the healing blanket. She had a bump on her head. The next day she rang me. Shatir, I feel better than I've ever felt. I don't even have a bump on my head anymore. I cannot explain it to you, Halley, in the terms of it is other than I love what I do. I'm dedicated to bringing joy into your life, and I put it into my canvases however I can. The canvases, the jewelry.
Well, again, you just allow. And since you brought up the jewelry, I'm going to share with everyone that your art is not limited to canvas or to healing blankets. Tia gets on a roll, and you got to watch out. If you walk into her home, there are gemstones everywhere. There's paint everywhere, and it's fabulous because the house itself is so well appointed. It's definitely her. The furnishings are beautiful, but in one corner you have these goodies, in the other corner you have those goodies, and I'm like, what are you up to now? Oh, look what I just created. And she did an entire jewelry line in like a week.
Yeah.
And who was it, Neiman's, who was interested, or Saks? And it was one of the big ones.
Saks in New
was,
York.
Taking
and now
the line.
The Marriott Del Rey
Right.
have the whole line.
Right.
And they're selling it. In fact, when I go in to check on it, they say, Tia, we need some more. When you're bringing, new products. So I allowed myself the gift of the journey. Once I said, okay, I'll try it. Nothing stopped me. I think that's the part that I was waiting for. someone to give me permission to allow myself to try something new. And in the end, I said, I'm going to do it.
Right. Right.
And now I don't stop.
Okay, tell everyone the name of the magazine that you're being featured in.
Atlantic Avenue magazine. I think it's on page 78.
And was it June issue or?
It's the June issue.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was June or
2014,
July.
Right now.
Right.
Yeah, the June
Right.
issue.
So if you haven't seen it, you really should
Yeah.
get a hold of it. It's amazing.
And the reason why the article was written was because this beautiful lady that I'd been invited to for lunch who I didn't know, she went into having a Parkinson's freeze, and I didn't know what that was either. But my knowing knew to put my hands on her, and her husband saw that my hand went blue, and that he could see like energy moving from her body into my hand, and he's just a regular guy.
Right,
So
wondering
when he
what is
said this
going
to me,
on.
I was like, okay then. The next
Shame
thing I
he didn't
know,
take a
the
photo.
editor's, is writing a whole page. He said, I want to know who you are,
Right.
and everyone should know about you. And I'm not sure about everyone.
Well, I think it's really incredible if you think about it, because there was no intention to grow up and be a master artist, a master healer, and master intuitive, and all of these things, and yet they seem to be congealing for you. They seem to be coming together for you just because it's supposed to be. And anybody who meets you finds that you're creative and you're talented, but it's like the onion. You have to peel layers because they don't know. Are you the jewelry maker? Are you the clothing designer? Are you the artist? Are you the healer? Are you, there are so many questions, but really and truly the artwork makes such an impact. And the reason that I'm, if you will, really talking about the art specifically is because the art itself has this ability to heal. As you said, the people that have come to you with specific things going on in the world, wanting change, wanting a baby, etc. The art, as I said before, is divinely inspired, so that just comes through, goes on the canvas, and if someone brings that into their home, they resonate with that, and things start to shift. And I think you cannot ask for a better gift, truly.
Yes. It changes your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm in awe of it. It changes my life, because I stand there, and there's been many times I've been interviewed, and someone, I say, I'm not the artist, and I've had people say, don't say that, Tia. But when you're so in awe of your gifts, you feel this humbleness about you, that you know that it's the bigger part of than the body. And I'm looking forward to my new collection. I actually just painted a nude, a 6-foot nude for a client.
Oh, nice.
And
so you didn't go get somebody, make them stand nude and paint them?
Near enough.
We've got to take a quick break, Tia. If you will, give us a call at 888-565-1470. I'll be doing some psychic messages, and you'll be able to visit with Tia Crystal. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Times are tough, and right now those in the commercial world know that being heard via advertisements is the name of the game. AmpSquare.tv understands how important advertisement is and is proud to express that it's truly the only plugged-in internet television production company on the market. Amp2.tv live streams all their shows across all the major selling markets in the U.S. and abroad. Call them at 866-224-5422. The AmpSquare.tv library allows productions to be seen over and over again, making commercial platforms more usable. Call 866-224-5422. Toll free 866-224-5422. Amp2.tv, the first and only internet television network that's truly plugged in. 866-224-5422. That's AMP2.TV. You're listening to Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise, and she invites you to visit her website for more information about all that she does at HalleyElise.com. Now, back to your host, Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise.
Hello there. I'm just jiggling around in my seat, listening to the music, chit-chatting with my lovely guest, Tia Crystal, who's here this evening. She's been sharing with us about her beautiful art, her magnificent abilities, the magazine, I believe, Atlantic Avenue, if I said that.
Avenue.
I said it correct. Yay. And it's the June 2014 edition. I know, forget me with time, as we know. Anyways, I had opened up the call lines to 888-565-1470, and I believe we have a couple of people on hold. So I think the first guest is Robin. We'll see if our gentleman in the control room can connect her. Robin, are you there? Nope. Ken? Hello? Nothing. Try again. She's there. We're not hearing her. Okay. Can you pick up the other line? Okay. Hello, hello. Supposed to be Donna is on the line, but for some reason...
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me? Oh, hi. I didn't know you were coming to me.
Yes.
I'm Donna.
Yes, you're Donna, yes?
That's correct.
Okay. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Okay. Did you have a psychic question that you wanted to address this evening?
I did, thank you. I am having part 2 of a presentation tomorrow. This morning was part 1 of an opportunity that may, if they, like the presentation I'm making, may have a strong impact on my life. And I made a presentation today, and I'm really not sure. There wasn't any reaction. Not terribly surprised there wasn't, but I wasn't getting any kind of feeling whatsoever. And tomorrow's the bigger part of the presentation. I was just wondering if there's anything you can help me about that.
Okay. I hate to say it, today shouldn't have been your first day. But it's okay, because I feel like tomorrow you're going to have a slam dunk. The overall impression here is turning this type of thing into more of a career than it has been. It feels as if you've kind of touched in on this but haven't really done it full on, and I get that opportunities that are going to take place are huge. But there is a, if you will, a ambiguous feel in respect to this particular organization taking you on, we'll say full-time, or taking you on and saying, here's all these big opportunities. I feel like they're going to vacillate a little bit, so I'm going to say sweeten the pot as best as you can. So tomorrow when you do great, which I believe you will, make sure that if they want to negotiate on price, if they want to negotiate on time, that you're open to that. Not that you have to do this with every opportunity, but because they're kind of feeling after today that you're very talented, but that perhaps you needed a little bit more time in front of an audience. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a beautiful day.
All right, you too.
Thanks. Okay. Lisa, are you on the line?
I am.
Okay. Hi. How are you?
I'm great. I was just driving home and I caught your show and I'm fascinated.
Well, fascinated is a good thing. You're fascinated with Miss Tia?
Yes. My question is, I feel that I'm a creative spirit, but I've kind of been stuck in a career that really isn't fulfilling, and I'm looking to try to find something more fulfilling, but I just feel like I just have all this fear, and I don't seem to know how to just get past it.
Okay, well, it's interesting because as you start talking, I get this image of a woman who's almost, I'll say, trance dancing, meaning, when somebody has drums in the background and someone is swaying and just moving to the music, and almost like something that you would see in the 1960s. And I feel like there's a very big connection not only to things that are creative, but things that, if you will, are soulful or connected to the earth. And what I'd like to suggest is you start doing some research in respect to jobs that would connect you more with the earth. And that doesn't mean necessarily going out and becoming a florist because you're taking care of flowers, but more in lines of what sort of opportunities are there in respect to dealing with nature, dealing with animals, if you will, the ecosystem, because I feel like there's, again, very strong connection with that. I would look at doing something in that arena, I would say part-time, just to get your feet wet, till you really find your passion. Because my overall impression, and this may sound totally crazy to you, is doing something almost like a park ranger. And I don't see you doing that all the time, because I don't see you like running out in the woods and getting all sweaty and having the wolves jump on you. Not like that, but in the sense of helping people and being in the environment and being connected. Because I feel like not only are you connected to nature, but you are really good with people when you want to be. And I say when you want to be, because I feel your patience level is not always up to par there.
Thank you so much. That's
You're very
interesting.
welcome. Have a beautiful evening.
You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Okay, I believe we have Nicole on the line.
Hello.
Hi, Nicole. How are you?
Hi, very good, and you?
Very good, thank you. Did you have a question?
Yes, I actually have a career type of question as well, and I also wanted to let you know that I have seen, and I actually have a couple of pieces of Tia's jewelry,
Oh, nice.
and it is the most exquisite, colorful, full of love, full of energy, and every time I wear a piece of it, everyone is drawn. I don't know if they're drawn to me, but they're drawn to
Well, they were drawn to you in the jewelry. What a great testimony,
Exactly.
Tia. You want to say hello to Miss Nicole?
Hi, Nicole, honey. How you doing?
Hi, Miss Tia. How are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. And you know, they're going to be drawn to the beauty of you, and the jewelry just adds the extra part because you're just like a ray of sunshine. So,
you.
yeah,
It's such a pleasure. Oh, you're such a wonderful person. I admire you so much, and I just love everything you do. And having the opportunity to see your artwork as well is so inspiring. And I would hope to one day own a piece of your artwork too, because I know it would fill my home with love and light and positive energy and creativity.
We didn't have
and,
to say anything.
that just
So-
fills my heart. Thank you so
That's
much
my
for
dream.
sharing that
But,
with us tonight. And your question to Miss Halley.
I'm looking to, lately I've been very overwhelmed and stressed and,
Hormonal.
with my job. Maybe.
Well,
Maybe.
all kidding aside, let me dive in there for just a moment. It feels to me as if hormone levels are slightly askew. I would suggest having a blood test done. Have them take a look at T2 and T3 specifically and see where you sit. It may show up in the normal range, but if you will, at the lower end of normal, and I feel like it's throwing you off, but you should have an evaluation because it feels like you're tired too. Like you just don't have your normal energy level. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Exhausted, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a few things. I feel like sleep is slightly off. It feels like, again, just kind of tired even after you sleep. There's a few things going on, but I feel like it definitely is connected to hormones. So I'm going to get that out of the way first. And you started to say something about a job.
I've been in this similar career now for about 27 years, and I did have my own business at one time, and I have also, although I don't consider it a failure, it's hard getting up the courage again to take those chances.
To start on your own.
Before. But I kind of know that's what I have to do and where I have to be. I'm just, I don't know, where can I, and I'm also in a situation too where I have to support my son through school, and I'm a single mom, and I want to do all those things and be all those things. But
Well, let me suggest the
just
first
the
thing,
time.
Nicole, if you will. The first thing is you need to start patting yourself on the back. All kidding aside, you are doing incredible work, taking care of your child, working hard, and not feeling well, and yet still you're getting up and you're doing what you need to do. So you have to acknowledge yourself, and you have to take a moment and say, okay, I'm grateful. I have a roof over my head, there's food in the refrigerator, and even though
very
I'm...
blessed.
Pardon?
I'm very blessed. I am.
Right. But this is what I'm saying.
Every day.
I feel like for you to start moving forward in your world, if you can get into the habit of taking and set your clock or your phone, if you will, for 3 minutes and sit and do gratitude. I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that, I'm grateful for what's coming next. Start with that each day. I guarantee within 2 weeks, you're going to notice some really lovely changes, because like attracts like, and especially when it comes to energy. When you're not feeling up to par and the world is kind of beating you down, it makes it difficult to be motivated and to move forward, even though that's what you really want. There's that feeling of, but what if I make a mistake? What if I do it wrong? And I feel like that's exactly where you're sitting right now. So between being somewhat tired and being overwrought and being nervous, you need an equalizer. One of those things is to shift the, if you will, the mind language that you're using for yourself, because I know you're grateful, but you have to start saying it. And you have to start saying that you're grateful to you. I mean, literally use the affirmation, I am grateful to me. Look how wonderful I am. Look what I am doing. I am putting myself in the world. I'm taking care of my child, and I'm here. Thank you. And really start your day with that. As far as shifting from one career to another, I'd love to say that this is happening immediately. I don't get it happening immediately unless you say, see ya, done. I do feel, though, that you will be in business for yourself again, because I feel like you tried something some time ago. And this is, what are we in? We're 2014. Yes? Okay, so I'm going to say in a relatively short period of time, it feels like by the end of next year that you will have already put your foot in the door for doing your own thing again. So I'm going to suggest that you look online initially for things that, if you will, fit your expertise. And there are a lot of things that you're very good at and very talented with. You have to start acknowledging yourself and pick out the things that you like. Literally make a list, pick your top 3 and say, you know what, I want to pursue that. And go online and see how you can get started online. And even if that means just simply writing a blog about it and getting $5, every time somebody comes on, it's at least a start, because then you could say, oh, look, I'm being productive. Money's coming in. I'm doing something I like. Make sense?
Right. I do. It's so true. I beat myself up so much, never feeling like I'm doing enough, giving enough, trying enough. And that is great advice. And I think you're right on the money with everything else that you just said. It's right where I need to be.
Okay. So please do yourself a favor, take better care of you, and you'll start seeing a really big difference. I thank you for calling in.
Thank you so much. Take care. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye, Nicole.
Okay, it seems like our lady Robin has phoned back very quickly. Hi, Robin.
Hi, I'm sorry about that before.
No worries. We have a moment, so what's your question, hon?
Actually, it seems like it's a career night, so I've been stuck in my career for a long time, and I just recently went on a job interview and really thought that I was going to get it, and I didn't. So I've just been thinking, is there supposed to be a change in my life for the career that I've been in for 35 years? I was an esthetician, now I work retail, and I kind of just feel like I'm stuck.
Okay, fair enough. This may sound totally contrary to what you're feeling and thinking, but really what's coming to me is it's less about the career and more about how you're feeling about you in this moment. Because I feel like you could do what you're doing business-wise with your eyes closed. It's a matter of creating some excitement in some areas of your life. When was the last time you did something just spontaneously because you could? I feel like you haven't done that in a while, and I feel like if you want to see things change as far as business-wise, you first have to address what's taking place as far as with you. Get up an extra hour early and go look at the sunrise. Start doing some things that make you feel good on the inside, because you'll notice that work feels better. Then you can make a change, because I really don't see a change coming immediately. I would say you could actually be with the same business another 3 years if you don't start shifting internally first. All right?
Okay, thank you.
I thank you. Have a great evening. Okay, so This evening was with Miss Tia Crystal, my beautiful friend who is the lovely visionary artist and oracle. You can get a hold of her via tiacrystal.com. And it was kind of fun this evening. Did a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
We created a canvas.
That's it. And thank you folks for calling in. It's appreciated. And we shall see you next week. Good night. See, you're dancing.
Be enchanted and delighted. Connect each week here on WNN for the Halley Elise Show. Also on Facebook and at HalleyElise.com. Thanks for tuning in. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.